and Marketing at Advice Media, and pleased to welcome our guest, Kelly Smith, today. Prior to me doing a formal introduction of Kelly, who's been a guest here before, let me just outline kind of the way that we run things in case you are new to the Advice Media webinars. So what we do is I'm going to turn it over to Kelly in a minute and let her give her presentation and talk about the 1 hour annual marketing plan. And Kelly is a master at this, and so you're going to learn a ton of things from her today. But if you have any questions that you would like to ask her, I'll be moderating that. So on the control panel that you see, go ahead and ask those questions, and I'll keep kind of a running list of those so I can present those to Kelly at the end of the presentation. Also want to note that this webinar is being recorded. So if there are those of you who'd like to listen to it after, or you have a colleague who you're like, oh my gosh, somebody else needs to hear this, it will be available on the Advice Media website and on our YouTube channel tomorrow. You'll also get a link to that automatically from the GoToWebinar. So just a heads up on that and be on the lookout. But I am so excited today to welcome Kelly Smith back into the Advice Media webinar series. Kelly, as many of you know, has been deeply involved in the aesthetic industry as a medical spa CFO, an entrepreneur, a speaker, and business consultant for the past 20 years. Kelly and the Projected Growth Consulting team understand the challenges of growing a successful practice, primarily because of the vast experience in the industry. They've all worked in the industry, and Kelly's been there as well. Their team has helped more than 2,000 plastic surgeons, medical spas, dermatologists, and other aesthetic medical providers since 2011. And having sold more than 18 million in services for their clients this last year, her team delivers proven and measurable revenue for their clients' practices. Kelly is also the author of a book. She knows how to lead teams. She is kicks butt at everything she does. And she knows how to put on the most amazing events to help grow your practices. But get your pen and pencils ready because you're going to be taking a lot of copious notes as you listen to Kelly today. Kelly, thank you again for being here, and I look forward to learning from you as well.
Thanks, Chad. It's always fun to be here, and I'm excited to share some strategies. This is a great time of year to be thinking about your annual marketing plan. We're still early in the year, even though we're getting close to March. You can really implement a marketing plan at any point, and I will offer some resources at the end of the presentation so that you'll be able to maybe not need to take as many copious notes, but feel free to ask any questions. I'm always happy to hear your thoughts and your ideas. We do this annual marketing plan method with hundreds of clients a year, and you really can create your annual marketing plan in an hour. And you might be asking why that matters. And I think that the main thing to point out is that practice owners are letting huge potential net profits slip through their hands every day. And it's not uncommon, and it's really easily overlooked. I do speak about this from experience. I did all the things that Chad mentioned, but I also started, owned, and operated a med spa myself from 99 to 05 and built that to $1 million. And we were seeing about 15,000 clients a year. I had a staff of 20. So I definitely understand how hard it is to create a marketing plan or a business plan while you're running the business, looking at the numbers, trying to keep your staff happy and your clients happy and the budget. So the reason why I really started this company was to show you how you can address these kinds of concerns with good, practical, step-by-step implementation guides. I feel like, as I spoke around the country for many years now, many of you know what to do. It's in the how to do it. There's more information available to us than we can even use right now with YouTube University at our fingertips. But what I'll say about that is knowing what to do and knowing how to do it are sometimes two very different skill sets. And that's why I think it's important for you guys to know that I'm speaking from experience of running my own business or scaling other people's businesses or the over 2,500 clients that we've helped now. Because our goal is to give measurable systems so that you can get a straight line to success instead of learning by the school of hard knocks. And my favorite clients are the ones who have been trying to do this for years on their own. And when they finally try this with our method, they're just so relieved and happy and also upset that it could have been this easy, and they missed that all along, which happens to us frequently as well, that aha where you're hit over the head with, this is really a pretty straightforward solution. So what I'm going to share with you is, it's not complicated, it's very straightforward, it's easy to implement. And again, if you have a wonderful strategy that you cannot implement, is it really that wonderful of a strategy? So let's talk about, no matter what kind of business you're in, there's three big areas, and those areas are financial, marketing, and operations. We've got, an hour today, so we're really talking about marketing, but I think it's important to realize that marketing has a huge impact on your net profitability. Not very many people talk about this. Usually when I speak to a practice and I ask them, what do you need to be more successful? 9 times out of 10, the answer is, I need more clients. The next statement is usually that they aren't marketing regularly, via email or specials or promotions or events to their existing client base, because for some reason we just think we need more clients. And that's where this educational part between retaining clients, mining clients, growing clients, and your net profitability really comes into play. So sales or revenue is how many dollars come into the business. Expenses, what it costs, payroll, rent, marketing. Those are your expenses. When you take revenue or sales minus your expenses, that's your net profit. Your net profit is your taxable income. The net profit is what the owners get out of the business. It should be a very important gauge that you're watching on your dashboard. So I think it's important to realize that it costs 5 to 25 times more to get a client than to keep a new one. Retaining your clients can increase your net profits more quickly and more effectively than any other thing you can do for your business. And everything I'm going to show you is how to retain and grow your clients here. And that overwhelmingly more than half the consumers out there would pay for better customer service. And that is particularly true for your millennials. Our target market is primarily women 20 to 64. Yes, men make up the market, and I don't exclude them as a target. They're about 10 to 15% of the market. We're always trying to grow those. Some products and services lend themselves more to the guys than others. But again, this current patient list and your online leads and your patient referrals, even on social media, these are the foundation of your business before you start doing paid social and geo-targeting and geo-fencing and some of those things. So I want to show you why all these marketing steps and strategies are very useful, especially if they're done in the right order. You're not going to put the roof on the house before you have, your foundation and your structure up. Many times that's what I'm seeing is we want to do geo-fencing, but we don't even have a website that's mobile enabled with good SEO. There's a lot of steps between A and Z. So keep in mind that your top 10% clients are spending 3 times more than your lower 90%. And that is something important to realize, because I really say often, mine the gold you're standing upon. Your current patients are your gold mine. And how do you get them to come in more often? How do you get them to buy more services? And why does that even matter? The reason why it matters is that we know the more products someone leaves with, the more likely they are to come back to your business. And the same thing applies to services. So the more service types or profit centers that we can get your clients to partake in, the more loyal they are to your business. And that affects what? Your retention rate. And we know that retention, taking your retention up a percentage or two, will yield really big rewards to your bottom line. And again, revenue is great, but if you don't have a good net profit of 20, 30%, you're putting a lot of money in the top to get very little out the bottom, and that's where burnout and bankruptcy occurs. So why do we have this program? This is what I used when I ran my med spa, when I also took a med spa here in the Northwest, a laser and vein center, from $800,000 a year to $4 million with 2 locations and speaking all over the country. It was this proven marketing program. And it is essentially monthly cross promotions instead of discounting. No percentages off, no discounts, just cross promotions, meaning when you buy this product, you get this one, or when you buy this service, you get this one complimentary. Weekly social media and weekly e-blasts, all of that built on a foundation of quarterly sales events, where the only time you really discount would be at your quarterly sales events. And this is what we've implemented throughout the country for different practices, and this is truly our secret to success. This is the proven marketing program that we've implemented. For those of you who worry that email is dead, because I know some studies and some speakers say that, We get phenomenal results out of emails, but just like social media, the devil's in the details. That subject line has more to do with the performance of an email than anything else. So I'm going to show you what really works for emailing and why that's important as we move through this presentation. So I keep saying the word annual marketing plan. I do have 3 books out. One of them is 1 Hour Annual Marketing Plan, one is 1 Hour Sales Event, and then the other one is Top 10 Profit Killers. One of the profit killers is not having an annual marketing plan, because by planning out your entire year, number one, you can figure out what kind of events you want to do. The ones that we recommend are to do 1 anti-aging event, 1 body event, 1 feminine event, or an injectable event, depending on what you're doing, and perhaps a VIP event. So quarterly events seem to be the best mix as far as how often to have them for your staff and for your clients not to get burned out. I have a few clients that pull them off monthly. That's a big ask. And you can mix that up with lunch and learns and evening events. And we'll get into events a little bit more. But what I want to explain here is the rule of 7. People have to hear something out in marketing, they say, about 7 times before they respond. We've always known this with radio, TV, print, there's billboards. It's always, what's your reach, what's your frequency? It's the same with social media. How many eyeballs have to see it how many times before you get the response? So you've always been dealing with these algorithms. We've been paying for marketing from yellow pages, radio, TV, print, billboards for years with this industry. Although I'm really surprised that some businesses that we talk to feel like, oh, this is all new. I'm spending money on marketing because now online is so important in social media. We've always been advertising and marketing, even if it was just a really expensive full page display ad in the yellow pages. So we have to be where people are looking for us. Now, the reason why this is valuable is if you plan out what your cross promotions are, you can get different vendors to help you with complementary products and services. You can get them to support your events, and you can drive 24 different promotions in a year if you give each one a month instead of 12. So these are just generic examples to give you some ideas. So an example for a cross promotion for January might be, Reset Aging, a free hydrofacial with any laser series. You want the value to be about a 20% value. The example I give all the time is the Lancome gift with purchase. Women just buy this way. Victoria's Secret does it all the time with the bags, and buy 2 bras, get half off the third. Buy 1, get 1. You can use this for buy 5, get half off the 6th, or buy 5, get the 6th one free, buy 2, get half off the 3rd. That's generally a workable way to do it, or get a gift card with a service. But my favorite way is to complement one service with another, especially if it's something that you do over and over. So a free hydrofacial or free Botox or filler or Latisse or a product that wears off that people come back in to get is really what I like to cross promote with the most, because the more times they come in, the more loyal they are. That's why the memberships are so popular right now. If you are deducting $300 to $500 a month from their account and they can pick from a menu of things to do, it does create loyalty because they've already put their money in your account. It's the same thing with a toxin bank. Some people will sell Botox banks of 100 units at $1,000. Well, obviously, you're not going to go somewhere else for that because you've already prepaid for it. So keep those things in mind. You want to look at, what do I need to sell more of? What am I trying to build that my profits are attached to? And what would I like to give as a value that casts a wide net so a lot of people would benefit from it? It's got a high tag of value, and it probably doesn't cost you that much. From doing that cross promotion, that gives you everything you need to know that month to create your content for all of your marketing advertising, which is the hardest part of the job for your social media manager or your marketing director. So let's say we create that cross promotion and it's a free hydrofacial with a laser series. That means that for January, we're going to do a contest of the month on social media and in the office for one or the other of those services. So we picked hydrofacial because so many people can benefit from a hydrofacial. It's sort of an entry level, appeals to everyone sort of prize. The broader, the better. That also tells us that as far as doing video blogs and written blogs, our 2 topics are hydrofacials and laser series. So we want to do a real short video about why hydrofacials are so beneficial, how often to get them, try them monthly, We want to talk about the laser series. What is it? Why is it unique? What kind of benefits can you get? And then do a quick written blog on those topics. And that way you've got new content every single week for social and emails, as well as even your website. And then that sits on the foundation of, okay, well, 4 times a year, we're going to do a really big event where people get a discount on our services. And we're going to go into more detail about events as we move through here, but they are the 4 pillars that are the foundation for the annual marketing plan. Many of you guys might be frustrated with social media. I know that we were, and I've tried to partner with probably about 5 different companies over the years to do social media for our clients. And finally, we threw in the towel and educated ourselves and got certified to do social media for our clients. Social media is where your clients are in the billions, and there isn't any way to avoid it anymore, as well as realizing that your specials, promotions, and social profiles, as well as your emails, are being seen the majority of the time on cell phones. So you really need to keep it simple, few words, and you're doing this to get the phone to ring or get questions to be asked, because that's your chance to educate and consult your patients towards the solutions they might be looking for. One of the studies that came out in the Aesthetic Journal in December 18, was that patients are literally basing their choice of plastic surgeons on who to go get consultations from based on their Google ranking, so where your website shows up, whether it's page 1 or not, and their social media presence. They're choosing over where you got your degree and what your experience level is. And many of you guys are thinking that's awful, and it is. But that is what the buyers are doing. It doesn't make it right, but the buyers are behaving that way. So knowing that, having a professional image on both your website and on your social platforms is so critical, because people are associating the quality of your services and your outcomes with those 2 things. And that's really where we come in. You know, we are making a difference with our practices, social media, which is such a big part of this annual marketing plan. So social media, the average business page on Facebook grows 12% a year. So that's 1% a month. Our pages that we manage and that we teach people this methodology, they're growing over 200%. And that's all organic. So that's not paid social. That's a really, really big deal. That can add easily 6 figures to your sales. So here's where I thought it was interesting, is I was doing a bunch of research for the book, for the top 10 profit killers, and I was trying to quantify social media and the return on investment, because that's the biggest thing I've been frustrated with and my clients are frustrated with. And studies show that followers of small businesses in local areas, which is what plastic surgery, med spas, dermatologist offices are. Small businesses are any employers with less than 500 people in a local area. So 5% of followers on average do business with those businesses they follow. So our average account is gaining 1,000 new followers a year. So if 5%, which is 50 new clients, if they gain 50 new clients, and on average, let's say those clients come in for Botox 4 times, or they do hydrofacial plus Botox and a filler, if they spend around $2,000, you've just increased revenue by $100,000. But here's the catch with social media. It's the engagement, not the reach. So you need people to comment, share, and like your materials. And most all of our posts get double-digit engagement. So reach is how many people see the post, which has always been reach. Remember, I was talking about advertise, seeing what's your reach and frequency, your traffic patterns for billboards, or what's the reach and frequency on radio or TV. So how many people see it, and then how many people engage and do something with it. That's why the biggest thing that we do in our social media and in the annual marketing plan is the contest of the month. If you only take one thing away from our time together today, give the contest of the month a try. Do it with something that appeals to a wide audience, like Botox or something like that, and make it very simple. Do a video that says, hey, we're doing a Botox contest of the month, like, comment, or share in order to enter to win. And I would love for you to email me your results. I'm going to share some results with you guys here. But for those of you who feel like you cannot track social media, you guys can very much track social media. And we track everything here by metrics. The biggest complaint I hear about consultants is their results aren't measurable. I felt like that from the beginning, so I track things down to very small details. And you'll realize that if you've worked with us or as we go through here, it's all about the numbers. So what do you track in order to know if you're doing anything with your social media? Number one, how many followers do you start with on Instagram and Facebook? What's the highest amount of people that you've got that you've made a reach to organically? And what's the highest amount of engagements you've gotten? Those are really the key statistics that you need to track. And you can see all that on Insights or the backside of Facebook. Then we move into emails and open rates and click-through rates. These are also important. You know, how many people are on your list, how many people open the email, and how many click on the deal. So we're going to get into that in a little more detail here. What I have found that does not work on social media is direct selling, percentages off, and those kinds of things. So I'm sharing this example for you to show you there are 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 shares on this post. The images are fine, but 15% doesn't mean anything to me if I have no idea what the cost of liposuction is. 15% of 10,000 is one number, 15% of 5,000 is another, and we all know that liposuction varies dramatically amongst different providers. Then, you know, here this image stops the scroll, but you know, it's your waist can get smaller, and your butt can get bigger. Okay, well, again, you got 1 like here. So what doesn't work is straight selling. We know that. So what does work? The cross promotions are working very, very well via email and on social, as well as in office, and they're a closing tool that help you in your consultations. So as an example, this one, free Botox with a skin rejuvenation treatment. That could be like a radio frequency micro needling. Who knows what you've got? I know there's so many different choices out there, and there's more every day. So I shared this before with you. If you sell a client 2 retail products, there's a 60% chance they'll return. 1 product, 30%, 0 products, a 10% chance of return. So here's what got to me. The average retention rate for the highest ranking injectors, according to Allergan, is 20 to 30%. And I would say that of all my female friends and how long I've been in this industry, the 2 people that we don't like to switch things up on are our hairdresser and our injector. So this number really surprises me that it's this low. And the biggest mistake I see injectors making is not doing cross promotions, not offering some reason to go to them. If I'm offered a free hydrofacial every time I spend $750 or more at my injectable appointment, they'd be winning all day, and I would be really loyal to them. This is a way that you can avoid people seeing a special and running somewhere else and trying someone new. So think about the value added here. Even if it's free Latisse with every Botox, it costs you, you know, what, $90, $80, $90 for that? And instead, we're discounting by unit where you're spending a lot more than that, and the clients don't even respond the same. So take a chance at trying cross promotions instead of discounting. I can guarantee that the performance is there, and you will begin to see a change in the buying habits. And again, remember that those existing clients are spending 6 to 7% more than new clients. That's why we want to cross them into other products and other services. So the first step we said was that cross promotion. So think about what you might promote in March. Think about a cross promotion. Try coupling it with something like toxin, hydrofacial, microneedling, something that really can appeal to a lot of people. And then remember that the image is what stops the scroll. So you hear things like A/B testing on different ads on Facebook. 75 to 90% of the performance is based on the photo. So eyes that are looking at you, something that's beautiful color. You know, we know that puppies and babies work really well as people that are excited looking right at you. I mentioned before, millennials are willing to spend more for good customer service. And the visuals are actually recalled 3 days later by clients. So it isn't just getting something posted 4 or 5 days a week, it's what you're posting. And I think that's the biggest misunderstanding about social media is we think, oh, let's just have someone in their 20s post something 4 or 5 times a week and call it good. Social media is the most strategic of the services that we provide. The algorithms are extremely refined, and it is not a mindless, brainless kind of advertising. This is something that you need to understand your demographic, speak to them in a way that they want to be spoken to, and offer them something of value. At PGC, you guys probably saw the picture of us in the beginning. We've got a staff of 22. We are made up of owners, managers, directors, consultants for practices, plastic surgery consultants, top allergen reps, top equipment reps. And not only that, but we're the demographic. We are clients of these practices. So we approach social media different than some of the people that you might have tried over the years. We are the patient. We know how the patient wants to be talked to. We know what the patient is interested in because we are that patient. So things like a free gift card with body contouring. If you don't have other services to offer, this is a good way to go. If you don't have a lot of feminine or other services, but maybe an OBGYN just adds a feminine treatment, they can have the maintenance go along as the value added, or they could have the external treatment go as the value added. So it doesn't mean that you have to have a bunch of services. And you can even cross promote these with a local florist and a bouquet of flowers, dinner for two at a restaurant that your friend owns. I've worked with different OB-GYNs who really only have feminine services like this, and we get all of the other business owners in their community, and free yoga, a 5-punched yoga card to go with any feminine health treatment. So think outside your own business if you need to. If you don't have a lot of these services to cross promote with, the theory still applies. Is a cross promotion, something valuable that you get when you purchase this. That creates an incentive to go ahead and make a decision and move forward. And then if you do have multiple services, great. You want to promote those. And using an image that makes people stop the scroll and look at it like, what does that mean? That's critical for social media. And that's why something like this is so fun. I really feel like it's smart social media, and our clients really appreciate that. Now the contests. The contests are hands down the most engagement and the biggest part of our success with social media. Even if it's a mystery giveaway, we get so much responses. What I love to do is to ask a question like, what would you like the giveaway to be? So the image stops the scroll and the details are down below in the text. So your choice giveaway, you've got chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. In the text, it might say, do you want the contest to be laser, fillers, or injectable, lasers, fillers, or toxins, or laser, Botox, or hydrofacial? And they have to type which one they want in the comments below. So how do you get comments? You ask questions, and it seems really simple. It did take us a while to figure that out. So that's one of those ahas that was pretty expensive to get to. Same thing with, when we talk about inviting people to different events and things like that, we're going to talk about how can you do that to get comments and to get engagement. And just have fun with the images. This is a unique image. Everybody loves hydrofacials. Fall in love with our monthly contests. This is really our way of getting the pages to start getting interaction. I have hundreds of examples of social media contests, but I'm just going to show you one quick one here. Dr. Cappuccino was doing really well with his social media. Before we started with him, he had 8 comments and 3 shares. That was his record, and he was really excited about it. He had less than 800 followers. And we talked him into doing a Botox contest, and he did a very short video that just said, hey, enter our Botox contest. We're giving away $650 for the Botox this month, right? So he put this up, and the next thing he knew, he had gotten 315 shares and 166 comments and 16,000 views without a paid or a boosting situation here. Now the rules change all the time with this, and he posted this himself, so you cannot demand a share to enter a contest, but you can say like, comment, or share, and that's just fine to do, and a quick video is great. So anytime you can put a video in, it's going to get a lot more reach, which is number of people that see it. So a still photo like this only gets 5 to 10% reach. So if you've got 100 followers, that means 5 to 10 people, or if you've got 1,000 people, it means 50 to 100 people see it. So the confusing part is then if you have a video, you've got 350 people seeing it because you've got about 35% or better. So anytime you can do video, it's great. But when you do posts like this, you get that 5 to 10% reach automatically. But when people start commenting, liking, and sharing, it drives that reach number up. So we like to post your cross promotions and your feel good posts and your benefit posts after a contest, because once that engagement is really going through the roof, basically Facebook and anything online, Google as well, analyzes, gosh, there's a lot of people absorbing this content, going to this content, and they're reacting to it. So we want to show more of that. So in the first 30 to 60 days that we're doing social media with our clients, we're paying attention to every single post. It's like, what do they like? What do they not like? And we just do more of what they like and less of what they don't. Very scientific. The key is looking in Instagram and really seeing what that is and speaking in their language. So I mentioned earlier, stop selling. Social media is a guilty pleasure. It's like flipping through a magazine. It should be fun. It should be inviting. It should make you feel good. And that's where the way you market these services does not have so much to do with the name of the treatment, but how it can benefit your clients. How can it help the women that are on the page? And having a little fun with that is really the key. So you can see here, we are asking something that most women who have had children know exactly what we're talking about. Rewinding the clock, having some fun with this imagery here. Neogen, they might not know what this plasma treatment is even doing. They might not know this name, but do they want to, improve their skin tone? Do they want to improve texture, little downtime, improving laxity? Do they want to do these things? They're like, yeah, I might want to find out what that is. And that's really what we're trying to do here. Even something that's been around forever, like IPL, you've got to get the scroll to stop and explain what it can do for them. This banana post reached 168 people. This is a brand new account, 12 people engaged in it. And that's significant because, like I said, we measure everything. Before PGC, their average engagement was 6, so we got to 12 here. And their average reach was 31. We got to 168. So basically, you can see by getting the engagement, posting the right things, and getting people to respond, that's where it reaches more eyes. And it is a numbers game. It's the more people that see it and the more times that they see things. So they need to see them in different ways. Maybe a video about laser hair removal and a post like this and a contest of the month like this. And then they get an email about it. And then maybe they hear something on your on hold. It's multiple times that people have to hear something or see something before they respond. And then you've got different personalities. Some people will watch a video, other people will read a written blog, some people will really pay attention to emails, other people will delete them before they open. Many of your clients are on Instagram instead of Facebook. We're still finding that Facebook is the #1 and Instagram is the #2, but they are neck and neck, and sometimes Instagram outperforms Facebook depending on the demographic makeup of the client the practice is following and their location. But right now, it really seems like both are required. So measuring what's happening is really critical. Now let's jump back to what I said before. We want comments because that drives your algorithm up. It drives how many people see each post. And you have to ask questions that people will answer. Not what's your favorite plastic surgery? What did you like best about Botox? What surgery do you want next? If you want to keep your page real quiet, ask specifics about things that people don't want to fess up to. Instead, we ask really fun things. Are you a book lover or an ebook reader? What's your favorite way to work out? These are the kinds of questions that the followers have fun answering. And, social media is social. It's a relationship. So why does that matter? Again, consumers are willing to spend more money with a company that they believe provides a really high quality service and high customer service. So when they see high quality posts and engaging materials that are smart and interactive, they respond to that thinking that this business is really well run. This is a really solid business that they're interested in. So you can see here, out of 645 people reached, almost 10% engaged. Typical engagement is 1%. That's a 10x. And why? It's a smart, fun thing. It's timely, National Coffee Day. Treat yourself to an extra cup. How do you take your coffee? And people answered, right? Same thing here. 396 saw it, and 20% almost of engagement. And it's tell us how you color up your look. What nail color makes you feel unstoppable? These are the kinds of questions that get answers. And then the fifth kind of post is, how do we make our followers feel good? And you can see here, we're talking about skincare, right? We're talking about probably feminine health things here. Here we're just saying, hey, the most beautiful part of a woman is her smile. We want to do things that complement our followers and make them feel good, because social media is that guilty pleasure, like watching, some sort of reality TV show or going through a magazine. So smart, engaging posts that speak to your followers are really the key. It's not about throwing something up 4 or 5 days a week just so you can check it off the list. It is, how do we get people to respond and engage in a relationship on a social media platform? This is a social engagement platform. So you have to respond back to them. Here's an example of another new client where we're just starting up, and those are the hardest ones to get going. Before, their average reach was 1.5 point, and then we're up to 10 and 122 within the first couple posts. And this is a fun post. I got my ancestry report back. I'm 37% Botox, 23% fillers, 12% Kybella. This is fun, smart humor speaking to people that understand it. Guys wouldn't understand this maybe, but our followers do. Before and afters are a great thing to use once a week as a benefit post, as long as you can tell the before from the after. If you feel the need to label before and after, your picture just simply isn't good enough to put up. If you want to take it to the next level, have them guess the procedure like we did here. They only had 897 followers, but they reached 1,357 people without any kind of boost. They got 60 comments and two shares. This is, again, what's driving up the activity on this page so that they can grow their followers and their reach. And from this post, they actually booked 5 abplasties. So that is my social media overview of how that fits into your annual marketing plan. And I'm going to take about 5 minutes to talk to you about a sales event so that we're clear on what I mean by a quarterly sales event. It's a narrow focus. So feminine, anti-aging, body, it could be breast, it could be injectable, it could be, whatever you want the focus to be. A grand prize, so someone wins a substantial prize with door prizes as well. A consultation in the round, so you explain and show, here's what it is, before and after pictures, and then they get a one-on-one consultation, a 15-minute consultation, so that you can go through pricing and set expectations, and then they actually set a deposit at that night, and that event pricing is only available at the event. And we talk about that through the entire scripting of qualification and explaining the event. It's a psychologically scripted event to explain to everyone, hey, do your research before, check out our website, bring your questions, we'll do a full consultation in the round. It's a very consultative environment. If you decide you want to move forward and doctor thinks this is the right treatment for you, we do take a $500 deposit at the event, so we don't want to catch anyone by surprise with that. But we really only offer this event once or twice a year, and it's the only time that we offer this event only pricing. Other than that, we do highlight different cross promotions throughout the year. These are just our big, events where we invite you in to take advantage of our best pricing of the year. Our top events are body events. We love those in the spring and in the fall. Feminine health events are strong all year long. That's something that we really get a lot of success year round. And then the 10 years younger, those are also really strong throughout the year. The hardest months obviously are July and August and September, when women are busy with vacation or getting kids back to school. Thursday seems to be one of the most successful events, nights, followed by Wednesday. Unless you are in a Bible Belt area, then avoid Wednesday and move to Tuesday. If you've got a small sort of facility, you can do one event at 4 and one at 6. If you'd prefer to mix in some one-day only, all-day retail sales, or some consultations by appointment, lunch and learns, those are structures that work as well. But what we do 95% of the time is an evening event from 5:30 to 8:30. or 6 to 9, and those are really the kinds of events that I recommend. You can definitely do a $50,000 event in your area. We do them across the country on, gosh, we have 30 to 40 events every single month. But I want you to see how good it can get. Six-figure events do happen, and they happen every single month across the country. So with the right planning, you can really pull this off. I like to set the goals, though, of booking 10 people at whatever your average case is. So that's why those body contouring ones are great, because their average case is 5 or 6 or 7,000. But the what's in it for you for events is that you get to hopefully, book 10 cases in 2 or 3 hours. You're basically going through 20 consultations in 3 hours versus 20 hours of consultations. And if you book, $50,000 at an event of a anti-aging event that might be laser, minimally invasive, and injectables combinations, that's the same as treating 100 different toxin patients at 500 per appointment. And you know that that's going to take 50 hours to do, even at the most efficient kind of a practice time. So this is really all about you. So don't feel like giving away a grand prize and event-only pricing is something that is a cost that you don't want to incur. It is a very low cost of marketing and return on investment. This is all about the benefit to the practice. A lot of times practices are worried, oh, I don't want to do prizes, I don't want to offer discounts. People, if they need it, they should just get it. I don't want to have to go to this trouble. I don't want to spend time and money organizing an event. It's all for the practice's benefit. And we really try to get a quick video talking about the event as well, especially when we have new social clients that have barely any experience. This is the way we help them get, their attendance up. So the video, like I said, really does increase your reach by 20 to 35% over a still picture, and a short 10-second or less, hey, we've got an event coming up, we're super excited. You can see here they reached 499 people and they got over a 10% engagement. Again, average engagement expectations are 1%. Double-digit engagements are not easy to get. And I'm excited to talk to you guys after this and find out how you're doing with your engagement, or if you're measuring engagements, comments, and shares. Email rates, a good open rate is 20%. You can easily get up into the high 40%. And the click-through rates are something you want to track as well. And, if you can get up into the 40% of an open rate and a 10% click-through rate, you're having a lot of success. It can be about a party. It can be about your events. It can be about your cross promotions. As you can see here, these ratings are very strong and they're for different things. So everything that we talked about here, it's very straightforward. It's good common sense, and it's the details that really matter, and how do you create a system so that you can do these things consistently on a weekly basis to create the results you're looking for. So to simplify it down, it's those 5 posts a week, and we've gone over what they are. You're either going to highlight a cross promotion or an event for a given month. Then you want to show the benefits of the technology that you're trying to promote. You want to have your contest of the month. Make sure that you do engaging feel-good posts and an engaging question that makes sense about the season and maybe what you're focusing on, whether it's face, body, or feminine. So here's what a week looks like as an example. Let's say you wanted to promote Bellafill and laser. So let's say your cross promotion is a free laser facial with Bellafill. Then your giveaway is going to be one or the other here, and this was an October promotion. And then ask about Bellafill. This is a video, but it talks about less injections, less appointments, and longer results because it's the longest lasting filler. Over here we have an engaging question. We're on face, we're on anti-aging beauty, so it's like, okay, you only get 3. Do you want Botox, lip gloss, moisturizer, coffee, chocolate, Wi-Fi, wine, and mascara? This is a really hard question for most of us. Have a lot of fun with these kinds of surveys. And then aging is a fact of life, looking your age is not. So those are the 5 posts. You've got your cross promotion, your contest, your engaging question, your feel-good post, and your benefit-driven post about the technologies that you're promoting that month. So we're going to summarize this up. We've created, you look at your annual marketing plan, you want to keep in mind what you want to promote that's net profit friendly for you. You want to leverage those things that you're really busy with already, like injectables, to promote new things that people might not know what they are if you get a new technology in. And you want to create that monthly promotion and utilize that for a contest as well. And that really drives what you're going to post 5 times a week on social media, as well as your emailing. And then that last foundation, those 4 pillars, are the quarterly sales events. And again, usually it's going to be base, body, feminine, and like a VIP invite only event. As a gift to you guys for staying this long, we do have a best-selling book. It's going really well. And the top 10 profit killers, it retails at $29, and we will send you out a free signed copy. And it does have all the details of how to build your annual marketing plan step by step in this book. And you will only pay the shipping of $7.95. So if you go to the website top10profitkillers.com, we would be happy to send you a book, and it has everything you need in here for a number of things: revenue planning, compensation plans, job descriptions, how to determine your return on investment for all of your marketing, into how to create a successful sales event, ending with how you build the right company culture so that you can scale your business and reap the profits that you deserve after all your years of hard work. And that is it, guys. I'm open to any questions that you might have.
That's great. Kelly, thank you so much. And thank you for that wonderful offer for all of our guests today. And I hope that all of them will go and go to the top10profitkillers.com and get a copy of your book. It's interesting is hearing you present. I gave a presentation over the weekend at the Miami Cosmetic Surgery meeting and talking about ROI, talking about LTV to CAC, and getting some of these financial terms and explaining what that means and this cost per acquisition of every single client that comes in, and the lifetime value of clients, the taking care of them and these numbers and being numbers driven. And there were a lot of blank stares that came back, and it was wonderful to be able to spend time with people after and talk to them about some of these key metrics that are so critical in business, that really drive things and are there for success. And I appreciate that everything you do is so numbers driven. So thank you. A couple questions. You talked a lot about video and some questions. One of the questions that came up, a couple of them actually, but was on the video quality. People are wondering, do they need to get fancy video equipment? They see some of these stars that are out there, they're doing things, that are, the Sheila Nazarians, the Jason Emmers, but how do you, and they're certainly well known, right? But maybe help our audience understand how simple it really is to do video within their practices today.
Absolutely. I think the less produced and the more organic seem to do even better. There's a place for the produced stuff. If you, number one, you're talking about the top 1% of social media people out there like Nazarian, where she's creating a whole career around that. And most practices can't even come close to that. But doing 1 or 2 videos a week that are 5 or 10 seconds, as an example, like sometimes the bloopers get the most fun response and reach. So overly produced, really people want to assess, do I like these people at this practice? Is this somewhere I think I would feel comfortable? The reason why we watch videos on YouTube before we pick someone to work with is we're really trying to figure out if we like them and if we trust them. And so sometimes when you get overproduced, your true essence and personality, the culture of the practice doesn't come through. So the kind of videos we're talking about are, let's say you do free hydrofacial with Botox this month, then, do a 10-second video of someone getting a hydrofacial or talking about a hydrofacial. Like, I got it before the party, my skin looks great, I couldn't believe my hyperpigmentation even looked better, like right after the treatment, this is my go-to to get party ready. That's the kind of video that we're talking about for social media. Or our contest this month is hydrofacial, or our contest is Botox. Did you know Botox can do? Or, the same thing of just showing someone getting a quick Botox injection and showing them, gosh, you just got this done during lunch, you're going back to work with powder on your face, no one will ever know the difference. It's that kind of simplicity. You just need to think about what are the common questions that you're asked, and you want to be able to address those things. And it's the produced videos are really great for your website. Let's say you're, redoing your website, you've got your office. If you want to do a, hey, this is so-and-so, this is why I went into cosmetics, this is what I love about it. I love making women feel good from the inside out. This softer side of medicine, my years of da-da-da-da-da. That's worth paying a video person to come in and do some videos of your office and of you talking about your top services and why you got into this business. Those things, paying for a little higher ticket to do that once, to have video content on your website that's really professional, is lovely. But social media content is different, 10 seconds or less. It's shorter. YouTube stuff, depending on if you're a thought leader and you're doing 5 to 15 to 20-minute segments. Again, I shoot all those in my office. All you have to do is get onto Amazon and buy a video blog kit for under $150. Most people are fine with a selfie stick and an iPhone. It really doesn't need to be something to get stressed over. It's really just getting it out there regularly and having a way for people to learn through video, because they really respond well to that.
No, I appreciate that insight. It's so valuable. We've had a couple people write in as well. One, they must have just come in just a couple minutes late. So just let everybody know that this webinar has been recorded, and the video of this will be available tomorrow. You'll receive a link automatically by registering, so it'll be sent out to you tomorrow automatically, linking back to the Advice Media website as well as our YouTube page, and you'll have a chance to see that. So just want to make a note of that for a few of our guests. Kelly, one of the things that you brought up, and I think this is a concept when I've talked to people that's a challenge for them to fully understand, and I think you did a good job explaining it, but maybe want to spend just a couple more minutes on this. You talked about engagement versus the reach, and I think it's an important thing. One of the pieces that you put up is before projected growth consulting was in there, one of the posts was getting maybe 6 engagements a month. You came in and it went to 12. Some may say, well, that's only 6. But can you talk about the importance of that lever, that single lever, of what 6 more people on one post can really mean to their bottom line, and why that's so important?
Sure. Well, in that particular example, we started with them from 0. So you've got 0 followers, and then you've got 20, 30, 100. And this is really important. This is why we try to get our social media clients to go through our social media course, so they understand the significance of something like that. Because 6 people, you're like, that's nothing. Well, when only 10 people saw it and 6 people responded, you would have thought only 1 person would have responded. But by having 12 people respond, you actually are increasing your reach for the next time. So reach, again, just, every different industry has their own key terms, whether you're talking about financial analysis or accounting or social media. So social media and advertising marketing, reach is how many people have the opportunity to see something. So it's about traffic for a billboard, right? Or it's about people that tune into certain TV shows for commercials. For social media, it's how many followers do you have on your platform. So our average client comes to us with somewhere between 500 to maybe 2,000 or 3,000 followers. And so when we take their engagement and double or triple or quadruple it, typically that means they might have been getting 8 or 10, and then they're getting 20. Well, if you do that month after month and you're getting an extra 10 a month, 120 a year, that's just the engagement. But the eyes on it are growing at, our average client gets about 1,000 new followers a year, and that's 50 new patients typically if 5% do business with them. So if you are specializing in surgical stuff, you've got, if your average spend is 5,000 for that year, you've got $250,000 worth of impact on your business there, where you're growing it that much. So it is hard to get, when I showed you the one with 0 responses and 1 responses, getting likes is one thing, getting comments is better, getting shares is a warm referral, one client to another. They say that the average woman has 100 to 300 friends on Facebook, and they say 50% or more are usually in the same demographic area. So, when you get a share, it's one friend recommending you to another friend, and that's our very highest kind of conversion new patient lead. If you've been in this industry very long, our favorite is one client referring another, or a doctor referring a client. Those are our best conversion leads, only second to existing clientele where you're offering them new services. So it's really not easy to get double-digit responses for most of the clients that are in that 1,000 to 3,000 reach. And it's just a quick tweak on what they're asking and how to put that question out there and understanding what the goal is of the post. We want to get shares, we want to get comments, and that's why that contest works so well, because you comment, like, or share to enter the contest. And social media is all about what's in it for me. Why would you follow someone on social media? That's something to think about. With this industry, it's tricky because women don't necessarily want to share with all their friends what they're doing to look and feel their best, and they don't want to admit that they're doing these services. This is not something that people walk around and advertise to their friends. When their friends ask them where they go, they may or may not tell them the truth. It really depends on the woman. So by getting people to engage with you on social media, this is like doing it with both hands tied behind your back, because this isn't a cleaning company. We refer our cleaners to a lot of people, and our insurance brokers and even our investment bankers, not our plastic surgeons and not our injectors as much, unless there's something in it for us, like some kind of maybe a referral kind of program. But with this, you really are putting something in it for them. The goal of the post is you're offering exclusive things only to your social media followers, contests, certain promotions, maybe one day only sales. They're not going to hear about them anywhere else. That's the only reason why people follow social in this industry. How can I be on the inside and know more about the business, more about the new things they have? How can I get exclusive discounts or get invited to exclusive parties, or how do I want to be in the know. I want to get into the contest. I want to do those things. So it's what's in it for them. And that's why we've had so much success.
Perfect. Thank you, Kelly. And it is what's important to them. And it's amazing. All you need is a few more people at the top of your funnel, and the end result is massive on what that means for your dollars. So it's great. Couple quick things
Similar
real
to
quick.
the retention, it's the same thing. Like you can increase your retention by 1%, and your net profit is influenced so much. So it's a very small move on the lever, and it really has a large impact on the business.
It totally does. Yep. Quickly, Dave Caraway, I can't respond to you. My keyboard's not working on the panel for some reason. I got your message. I'll pass that along. Last question as we wrap up today is, how important are hashtags, Kelly? Can you talk about that for a minute?
That's gone back and forth. Obviously, with Instagram, it's very important. We still like to use it in Facebook. There's been some changes with the algorithms. The last thing I read was 3 hashtags on Facebook is good, and somewhere between 5 and 10 on Instagram. But yes, those are SEO driven, and so you do want to do that. And keep in mind, when you do hashtags, you want to look at what the most commonly searched terms are. So just because you're selling halo laser or something specific, make sure, anti-aging, hyperpigmentation, sun damage, resurfacing, look younger now. You have to really look. It's not so much your name, like the doctor, and it's not so much the equipment name. It's what's in it for them. And so, yes, you can still hashtag halo, but hashtag anti-aging, hashtag sun damage, hashtag med spa, and your city, and your practice name.
Very good. We have one more question, Kelly, so I'm going to squeeze one more in here in our last minute. We've got such a great audience, and they're all staying on today. So the question is, after the cross promotion ended, should I do retargeting marketing, to the engaged audience of the last month to try to create the highest conversion of ads, or should I move to the next cross promotion and leave these warm audience to the chance that they'll take my quarterly sales event? So I think we should try to figure out, do we remarket, to the other group from before, or we try to just move forward?
You can. So that's a really advanced technique. So most of the offices that we work with, it depends. You want to do a different cross promotion each month, because it's not going to apply to everyone, and it's sort of a numbers game. At some point, something's going to resonate with them at the right time. But you can take the people that enter the contest rather than the cross promotion. It's a little harder to tell with the cross promotion, but with the contest, they like, comment, and share, and you can create mini marketing lists to those people knowing that they want that service, because they wouldn't have entered if they didn't want that service. So you can, one of the ways that we see works really well is yes, one person wins, and you can pick the winner however you want to. There's different random ways to pick them with different, apps that you can use for picking winners. And you can also just put them all the names in the hat, or you can select them, how it doesn't say that you're randomly selecting them. It's up to you how you select your winner. But everybody could really be a winner because you can messenger back to everybody that they get $100 gift card towards that service. So congratulations, you won $100 off Botox because it was a Botox contest. And one person won the $500 Botox, right? But maybe everybody else gets a $50 or $100 gift card, right? And it's almost like a comeback coupon or you won something. You didn't win the grand prize, but hey, congratulations, you won a $100 Botox gift card. And then, when they, in order to claim that, you just tell them to give you their email, and then you add them to your injectable email list so that you've got segmented email lists.
Now that totally makes sense. That's good. The two of you probably need to connect, as I can connect you after. So, thank you. I want to thank everyone who's been here today and participating. Thank you so much. And Kelly, thank you especially for taking time from your busy schedule to be here and share some of this information. I find it extremely valuable. And if they want to reach out to you to understand more about this, they can, of course, go to Top 10 Profit Killers. Also, here's your information with email, phone number, which is great. So I want to make sure that people can reach you if they'd like to have you help them with an event, if they'd like to engage your services as well for other things. So again, thank you, and thanks to everyone, and I wish you all the best. Talk to you later.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.